Breaking news, Chiefs Kingdom. We have some extensions to talk about. Head coach Andy Reid extended. GM Brett Veach extended. President Mark Donovan extended. Let's freaking go. Welcome to this at-home edition of the Chiefs Report, because guess what? When breaking news happens, I don't care where I am. I'm doing a video. And so I'm at my house. I'm not at the Chat Sports studio, but that's all right. We're still going to get this out to you and break everything down that we know so far about these extensions. And hey, we're putting in more work than anybody else on YouTube. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to regret it, because guess what? With draft week here, we got you covered on all accounts with scouting reports, draft picks. We're going live on day one. We're going to have a lot of stuff covered for you. So if you're new to the channel, just checking us out, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about the extension a little bit of Andy Reid and Brett Veach, as those to me are the more important ones. Obviously, President Mark Donovan is huge as well for the front office, but in my mind, Brett Veach and Andy Reid are the big names, because they're going to make a lot of moves that hopefully bring the Chiefs to a three-peat. Now, let's first start with Andy Reid in this situation, because he was extended 1 year less than Brett Veach. He got extended to 2029. And they talked earlier this season saying that they wanted to make Andy Reid the highest paid coach in the National Football League. Now, we don't know the contract yet in terms of money, and obviously I do feel as though he probably will be the highest paid coach given what we have heard from the Chiefs organization, from what they've talked about doing for the past 4 months now at this point. It just kind of makes sense that that would be the contract. So you're looking at a lot of money coming in for Andy Reid. Obviously, doesn't need to affect the cap space or anything, because he's not a player. He's a coach. It's just about the organizational standpoint and how much money they have, which, considering you're back-to-back Super Bowl champions and you have the premier athlete in all of sports in Patrick Mahomes, don't think the Chiefs are struggling for money right now. So it's a good thing to keep Andy Reid in the system. Now, Reid has been the coach of the Chiefs for, well, I mean, how long at this point? Going into his now 12th season of this upcoming year, just finished his 11th year. And the big thing with Andy Reid is he has been a coach for a long time for two different organizations. With the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously spent a good time there, now with the Kansas City Chiefs. And he is the only coach in NFL history to be the franchise leader in wins as a coach for two different organizations. You're absolutely kidding me. So that's absolutely amazing to have Brett Veach and Andy Reid sticking with the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, deals are kind of coming in here, and we're getting new and more details, and we'll have you covered of all that. But before we kind of break down Brett Veach and what this means for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs, I want you to do me a favor. If you're excited about this extension, you're excited to see Andy Reid, you're excited to see Brett Veach staying in Kansas City, well then go down in the comment section and type KC for me, because, man, it's a good time to be a Chiefs fan. I can't tell you how happy I am. I know that this is obviously a big thing, and we've talked about it on the show. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is huge. But I would argue, besides Mahomes, the two biggest guys are not on the field. It's Brett Veach and Andy Reid, and the way they have coached, the way they have managed this team, and now you have this absolute poster child of an organization extending their guys. And what's funny is the Chiefs, with Mark Donovan, Brett Veach, and Andy Reid, here's what they've come to the table with: 3 Super Bowls, 4 AFC championships, and when they're together, a 134 record. 134. That's crazy. That's above a 2-to-1 win ratio, and it's in absolutely mammoth fashion. And I think that's amazing to think about, that they're going to be with the Chiefs organization. I think I want to transition over here to Andy Reid, Brett Veach at this moment, because I know that Andy Reid's huge. Obviously, the coach is big time, but Brett Veach, the way he has constructed this team, the way he has been able to manage this team year in and year out with bigger contracts and bigger players, and drafting these players that he knows he's going to have to pay, and he's still being able to retain them all, is just a form of art by a GM that we have not seen since the likes of the Patriots back in the 2010s and early 2000s. I mean, this is just something that we just haven't been able to witness for a long time. Now, obviously, that does come to the account of going to Patrick Mahomes, going to Travis Kelce, saying, hey, we want to pay these guys to make the team better, but we need you to take a pay cut. And Brett Veach has been very open and very honest. He is going to make sure that, one, his guys get paid. He has told countless amount of times that Patrick Mahomes deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and he will make sure that he is that guy. Doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice cap space, though. There's ways to go about this where you can be able to understand, first of all, how the cap space work, add in signing bonuses each year, take some off what is going to be the hit. Obviously, big hits coming next year for Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes. Guess what? You have Brett Veach now to fix that situation. And I know Brett Veach has been really a huge part of the success in signing players in a lot of ways. And obviously there was some frustration last year talking about how it's his fault the Chiefs were struggling, but we can't say anything now. I mean, you have to look at this organization and think of Brett Veach as this guy who knows all. He was able to get Rashee Rice in the second round. I know it's a sore subject right now, but still the topic of it is very, very good. You talk about the draft that he brought in the year prior with Leo Chenal being in the later rounds, with Isaiah Pacheco being in the later rounds, Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis. He has been a guy who has been able to not only monitor drafts, execute his draft plan, and also draft guys that aren't just going to be good for 1 year or good for 2 years. He has been drafting guys year in and year out that have been amazing. I know he's not in the organization. Willie Gay Jr., he's a big one. Most people didn't expect him to be as good as he was. He has been. Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, talk about L'Jarius Sneed. There's guys that Brett Veach has just been able to come in here and make into superstars that he just knew all along this is going to work out. And the best part about this is his extension is done right before the NFL draft. So it clears Brett Veach's mind. He can focus all his efforts into making sure that this draft is just as good as the last two with the way that they've gone. And I think this may be one of the better drafts that he has to kind of work around, because you think about the Chiefs' needs: wide receiver and offensive tackle. What are the two best positions in this year's draft? Wide receiver and offensive tackle. He's got a chance to go out here and get some guys who can play on this team for the next 3-4 years and be light on the salary cap, with Chris Jones coming up in above $30 million cap space hit next year, with Patrick Mahomes having a $60 million cap space hit next year. There is a lot of money that are going to be flowing in, and I know the cap space will grow and grow and grow as the year goes on. Now the years go on. But it's something to note that Brett Veach has been able to go about this and continues to go about it in the right way of making sure that his guys get paid, but also that this team is still good. And I think that also makes me realize how in with the team Brett Veach is. And I know that Patrick Mahomes is going to congratulate Brett Veach. Patrick Mahomes is going to congratulate Andy Reid. Travis Kelce loves Andy Reid, loves Brett Veach. This team is so close together, and I think people don't realize it because it's football. You see the arguing on the sideline. You see the complaining sometimes. People have been calling the Chiefs whiners this year, or this past year. But guess what? That just means they're comfortable in their own skin to go out there and play the way they want to play. This is in some ways still a kid's game. I mean, you're playing football at the most premier level, but at the same time, the competitive aspect is there. Trying to have fun is there. I still look back at last season, and the turning moment of the year was Willie Gay asking for Swag Surf to be turned on against the Bengals. Listen, I know you can refute that. I know that songs don't matter, and obviously there's no reputable evidence to say that that is the reason the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. But hey, they were not doing so hot. They were losing games they shouldn't have been losing to teams they shouldn't have been losing to, like the Las Vegas Raiders. Don't even get me started about the Christmas game. But yet, they came together in the playoffs and beat the Niners in overtime in a game that was emotional as all get out. This team is a tight-knit community, and that is directly correlated to the big three that just got extended in President Mark Donovan, in GM Brett Veach, and in head coach Andy Reid. And now with them here for basically the next 5-6 years, expect Super Bowls to come in troves and expect those rings to be filling up the right hand of Patrick Mahomes. We do appreciate hanging out with us. Obviously, I know we don't got the graphics, don't got all the cool things to show you, but hey, we're still putting out content, and I'm still going to talk Chiefs ball. Sometimes these videos I know can be a little bit long, a little bit boring sometimes. I don't have all the cool stuff to show you, but hey, it's talking ball, and I think that is the best part of this job. Just going to talk ball with all of you. We appreciate you hanging out with us, Chiefs Kingdom, and for now, we will see you tomorrow. We'll be live at around 2 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to go a little bit earlier this time, and we'll be obviously putting out videos leading up to the draft and the pick number 32. When the Chiefs will pick, we'll be live for it. We will see you right here. So hit that subscribe button. For now, though, peace out. See you later, Chiefs Kingdom.